In this video, we're going to talk again about Striker, the hero bot for the Vex Robotics competition Over Under, and some simple improvements you can make to change how it plays the game. Striker was not designed to be the best robot to play the game. It's simply a starting point to teach you and your team members the mechanics of the game. We want you to tear apart and modify this robot. To give you some inspiration, in this video, I'll share some observations the Vex engineering team and I have made about Over Under and Striker. First, let's talk about the game, Over Under. This is what you would call a cycling game, where you need to take an object from one point to another as quickly as possible. The more cycles you are able to get per match, the better. Every part of your robot needs to focus on shortening this cycle time and maximizing the number of times you're able to score. In simple terms, you want to be able to intake a tri-ball quickly, get the tri-ball to the goal rapidly, and then climb at the absolute last second. Striker is capable of performing almost every task in the game, with the exception of climbing. To be competitive at Over Under, you should be prepared to climb. Climbing can be a rather simple pull-up operation on the horizontal bar, or a more complex challenge of grappling on the vertical elevation bar. Your team will have to decide which route you choose to take. I'm not here to tell you how you should build a climber, but I will give you a few things to consider. This robot only uses 4 motors, which leaves several available. Climbing might be a good place to use some of these motors. If you're just pulling onto the horizontal bar, pneumatics might be able to handle this simple linear actuation. You should test whether the arm and its motor can lift the weight of the robot chassis. You might be surprised. If you look at the field, you'll see an intersection between the 2 pieces of the elevation bar. If you're planning to climb, this might come in handy. The difference between a good robot and a great robot is the quality of the intake. The best intake designs allow your robot to touch an object and immediately pull it in and take full control, with minimal effort by your driver to line up perfectly. Striker's intake is okay, but sometimes it takes a while to line up to a tri-ball. To fix this, you could widen the intake or come up with a way to center the tri-ball into the intake better. Last big point I want to cover is the lack of sensors on Striker. Having sensors on a robot allows you to automate tasks that your driver would otherwise have to do manually. The Vex team has already added sensors to Striker for the Virtual Skills Challenge, and you can do the same for your real-life Striker build. Here's what we added to the virtual version of Striker. For driving data, we added a rotation sensor to each side of the drivetrain to get the actual distances traveled by the wheels. We also added an inertial sensor inside the robot to assist with turning during autonomous driving. For even more data about your position on the field, you can add a GPS sensor. For the arm, we added a rotation sensor to track its exact position. This allows you to set specific set points for the arm and make driving the robot easier because you won't have to worry about making sure your arm is in the correct position at all times. With the rotation sensor, you can just program a button to move the arm to a very specific location. All of us here at Vex Robotics wish you the best of luck with your 2023-2024 season. We encourage you to take a look at our online Vex library, which has lots of information that will help you as you design and build your robot. There's a link to the library in the video description below. You might also want to check out the Vex forums, where you can chat with other teams and get even more ideas for your robot. We're excited to see the robots and strategies that you and your teams develop to play Over Under.